Hey y'all, welcome back to Poplar Creek Farm. It is May 13th, the day before Mother's Day, and our estimated last frost was May 11th. But what an estimated last frost date is an estimate, as the name indicates. It is very much an estimated date of when your last frost is expected to be, based off of average last frosts. Now, right now, today it's 75, 76 degrees. Yesterday was 80 plus degrees. Tomorrow's going to be in the 60s. But unfortunately, at least I think it's Wednesday, Thursday next week, we have a couple overnights of 30s. So this means I can't plant out my warm weather crops yet. I can't plant out tomatoes. I can't plant out my peppers. I can't plant out beans and squashes, watermelon, and all the things. Okra, corn, maybe. I can go out. All the local big ag are planting out their corn and have been for the last week because they plant out when it's dry, and it typically does well, this time of year. But it's not warm enough to plant stuff out. So, although I am 100% guilty of being extremely frustrated when my estimated last frost date comes and goes and I can't plant, it is an estimate. So, where I live in upstate New York, although our estimated last frost date is typically May 11th, most people, home gardeners, don't plant until closer to Memorial Day weekend because that's typically when we're free and clear from any possible frost. I mean, tomorrow's Mother's Day. We've had snow on Mother's Day before, okay? So, although this year we won't have snow, it's still possible to have frosts right now. I am still hardening off my plants because I'm hoping by next weekend, I'm hoping by like Thursday, Friday, I'll be able to plant out. My 10-day will look good enough. Peppers are a little bit, I may wait another week or two on them, even after that, because peppers like it warm and they can be stunted very, significantly if you plant them out and you get a couple nights in like the lower 40s. So peppers will probably wait a little bit longer, but tomatoes will be ready to go out. I'll be ready to plant beans and watermelon and okra and cucumbers. And although a lot of those crops are also very frost tender, they will still be okay, because it still is going to take a little while for them to germinate and actually start to come up and show, um, any green above the ground. So we still have, we'll be okay to plant those things out, but peppers will be the last thing that I plant out because I just don't want them to be stunted and have issues with producing. I also am going to chop the tops of these so they bush out a little bit more, before I plant them out. But I'm not quite at that point yet because we're probably not going to plant these out for 2, maybe 3 weeks even, unfortunately. So just remind yourself, if you are like me in a northern climate, some people in zone like 4 and 3, they're not planting out for another month. Their estimated last frost isn't until end of May, beginning of June. And again, that's still an estimated last frost. That's not even the guaranteed, this is when you can plant out. So give yourself grace, be patient, although it is one of those do as I say, not as I do, because I am the least patient person. But it is important to be patient and to plant things out when the weather actually is appropriate for them. Planting things out early just causes you to have more work. If I were to plant my tomatoes out today, which I could have, I would be covering them later in the week, and I would be having to go out and make sure that they didn't get damaged from the frost, and that, you know, I water them in good, or water them you water them the night before you defrost, and that early morning you water them again, and that can sometimes help. But it's just more work that I don't need to be doing, and I don't need to be adding if I'm just patient. So do as I say, not as I do. Be patient, and always check your 10-day forecast, even at your estimated last frost, because there was about, I don't know, 7-8 days ago where I looked at my 10-day and I said, "Oh, it looks pretty good." But I knew I was going to wait a little bit longer. And sure enough, we have, like I said, I have a night down 33, which is obviously extremely close to freezing and would most likely cause a frost on the plants and be my garden for this year. So it's not worth it. Be patient, and the time will come tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Remember, we're growing today for a better tomorrow. Please like and subscribe and join me on the next one.